How's it going, everybody? Today I wanted to talk about a game called Larcenauts that just came out for the Quest and PC VR. I wanted to talk about the advantages and disadvantages inside the game, some of the mechanics, what you can expect, and hopefully some speculation into what they can fix in the future. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First, I wanted to talk about how this game plays, just in case any of you guys may not be interested in this type of game style. It is a 6v6 hero shooter. Each hero has different movement mechanics, movement speed, guns, throwables, an ultimate ability, and how much damage they can output and take. There are 3 game modes, Refuel, Uplink, and Deathmatch, with 8 different heroes, and there's currently 4 maps. Next, I wanted to talk about what is available inside the game, what the basics are, and what you can come to expect whenever you start playing. Everybody starts out with one hero in a default loadout. There is a loot box system where you can unlock anything from in-game money to experience, to cosmetics, to other heroes just by randomly playing the game, and you get experience when you win matches. There's a notoriety system where you can unlock specific items in a progression type system, and it will tell you exactly what you're going to unlock next before you do. There's also a rotating store that provides a few items that you can spend your in-game currency on, and it refreshes after a period of time. Lastly, there are also daily and weekly challenges that you can complete in order to get experience and in-game currency. The experience that you unlock in the game not only applies to your overall level, but also applies to the level of the individual characters that you can use to upgrade them, which I will explain later. Next, I wanted to discuss the game mechanics. There's a lot of vertical movement that goes on in these games, including launching up on platforms via a mechanic where you can pull yourself up if there's something floating above it, as well as being able to dive off platforms. There's also a toggle sprint inside the game, as well as auto reloading, and the enemies drop ammo, so you do not have unlimited ammo in this game. You've got to make sure you watch how much you have. A lot of people have said that they are not a big fan of the auto reloading, and I understand that. It does take out the potential to be able to be faster with reloading, as in with certain military games like Onward, where if somebody wants to become faster reloading, they have to practice with reloading rather than having a mechanic do it for them. Each weapon also has a special charged blast that you can fire by holding it with 2 hands and holding down the secondary trigger. You can level up your individual character to unlock special slots and place extra perks in. Like, for example, Vod, the melee character, you can upgrade his punches to make them fly 5% faster towards the enemy. Next, I wanted to talk about some of the advantages and perks inside the game. Unlocking heroes is randomized inside the game. This makes it to where they don't exactly have an overpowered character that you have to grind and grind and grind to get. Anybody can unlock any hero at any time, which makes it a really fun experience to play the game because you never know what you're going to get next. There's also very, very fast loading time in between the games. I mean, it just puts you into one match after another. After you get past the score screens, you maybe wait about, 10 seconds of loading before you're already in the next game. Lastly, it also balances players with respawns. I've noticed that whenever I got more kills before dying, it actually took a longer time in order to respawn, trying to balance out the game. Unfortunately, in the current state of the game, there's also some pretty heavy disadvantages. Trying to play this game with your friends in this current state is almost impossible. I spent about an hour where 3 of my friends were trying to group up. I could join one of them, but not the other one, and we couldn't get him into our lobby with us. Eventually, he just had to quit the game. There's also no mute feature in the current lobby, so rather than you being able to just have a conversation with you and your friend, unfortunately, it is open all the time, and you can always hear all the players in your team, and they can always hear you. In the current build, the Steam Store version is not working. There's some issues in it where players cannot get past the tutorial, so buying it on Steam at this point is kinda useless. There's also a large bug with the sprint mechanic, where while you're sprinting, your arms auto-move, so there's no way to be able to run and shoot, as well as whenever you're able to stop finally running, it's a bit difficult to get your hands back on your gun and continue shooting. Due to the heavy disadvantages of the game, I do have to only give this game a 6 out of 10. Right now, it is very, very fun to play, and I'll admit that, and I will continue to keep playing it. Unfortunately, with the sprint mechanic, which I feel like could have been worked out with more testing, not being able to have basic features like muting and matching up with your friends, and an entire version of the game on a platform that's not even working, it really isn't worth buying at the moment. I am going to keep my purchase and not refund it because I do want to support these developers and I want them to have the funding to continue to put into this game to make it better, but I wouldn't recommend looking at this game unless you're on the Oculus store. With all that being said, I hope all of you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the virtual battlefield.